Hello, welcome back to No Substitutes, the show where I have some of my favorite people on and we talk about what ingredients make them who they are. Today I have a very, very lovely special guest. I think this is actually the first time I'm meeting her, but I've known her through the adult world, and she's a very talented actress, writer, director, all the above. Please welcome Lucy Hart.
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we can meet in person.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm like, even if it's, right in front of, we're sharing this moment with all of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Life's been really good lately. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I've been like, I had like a one of those like, everything in life needs to change summers. Summer was like, okay, we're bouncing off the bottom. And then now everything's turning around and I'm like on a new shit and
Nice.
change the things I needed to. And feeling good and healthy and all that kind of shit. So
Awesome.
It's cool.
Yeah. I love the poetry thing you've been doing.
Thanks.
Yeah.
That's been fun. That's been a big part of it too. I needed to find a way to be creative again.
Yeah.
Because I miss making movies a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I still make movies, but not like, I miss making lots of movies.
Right.
And like that
back
being
to
my
back.
bread and butter. And
Yeah.
it's really fulfilling when your art and your creativity is also what pays you.
Right,
It's
for
like,
sure.
feels very validating.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you like win awards for it too, you're like,
course.
oh, this feels like I'm an artist.
Uh-huh.
Like I'm not like an artist and whatever.
Right.
Or slash, you know. So I missed that. And then anyway, I just started writing again. I went to school for writing. I wanted to be a writer since I was a kid.
Oh, awesome.
So I started writing again. And then it started in New York's a great place to do writing and weird art of all kinds.
For sure.
Especially if you're queer, like the local queer artist community is just thriving here. And we all support each other and show up to each other's stuff. And
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's actually like I'm even making a little money as a writer now. Like not,
Oh, nice.
it's not all my bills, but it's,
No.
but to make anything as a writer is
literally.
like significant. So
That's very validating.
yeah,
So, yeah.
loving it.
What kind of writing do you want to do that you haven't done yet?
Well, I mean, I'm working on 2 books and,
Okay.
one thing I've never written is a book proposal, that's like the next step for me.
Okay.
So I'd get published by like a big publisher.
Mm-hmm.
There's like formats and stuff, and it's like there's how-tos on the internet, but you don't know if they know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
It's sort of like I lucked out with acting. I just got like typecast, and like landed like 3 big movies for me, As soon as I moved to New York, I was just like cast,
I know.
I was like, wow, New York's way easier than LA. Like you just show up and
Awesome.
get gigs.
Get gigs.
But with like with acting, if you're like, how do I get, like, I'm also like, how do I get an agent now that I'm in movies?
Yeah.
And there's no, like, you can go on Reddit and look and stuff. But if like people who are successful in acting aren't really on Reddit telling people how to,
Yeah.
like,
no, for sure.
yeah, they're like busy doing acting stuff.
Yeah.
So, anywho, I'm navigating how to write a book proposal and that, and working on getting into grad school so I can be a therapist.
Oh, that'd be so awesome.
That's my like after I'm done being hot for a living, I want to be a therapist.
Just use your brain.
Yeah, and I want to be like a very like a hot old lady.
Right.
But that's different than like a mid-40s hot lady.
Right.
It's just
like
different.
you, like a Helen
gig.
Mirren.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. Well, like Linda Hamilton in the newest Terminator.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you've seen that.
I don't think I saw the newest one.
It's pretty good. It's all right. It's not the best Terminator, but
Right.
Linda Hamilton's a hot old lady.
Okay.
Like still jacked arms.
Okay, like that.
But like gray hair.
Okay.
Like wrinkled face. But like.
Right. But still hot.
Still looks good in a
Still.
tank. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going for. And then.
Love it.
I want to heal people's trauma. So I've had some good. I've been in therapy most of my life, like a lot of people, and but lately I've like really had some breakthroughs and like getting done, and I'm like, oh, okay, I want to do this technique with other people.
Yeah, and help people.
Yeah, so it'll be a lot of school. I'll probably be like 52 when I'm done, but.
Well, like you said, though, at that point you'll be like,
yeah, I'm not in a hurry.
hot,
I love my life now. I love what I do.
Yeah.
So like it's fine with me. I'll just take my time. And I have time. Like,
yeah,
that's the thing is like, I'm pretty busy, but I have enough time to like sit in my room and pet my cats and disassociate for like 4 to 6 hours a day.
So you're like, might as well do some school.
Yeah, I feel like I could get a PhD. You know what I mean?
Hell
like,
yeah.
I got time. So yeah.
Nice.
Working through that.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
What are 3 ingredients you would say that you need to be successful with your profession?
Ooh, okay.
You wear so many hats though. So I'm like,
I wear so many hats. Yeah. Well, everybody does it different, right?
Right.
I've done it by being authentic. But to say, oh, you have to be authentic in this profession is opposite land because most people are like not themselves.
I always tell people that, like, when I first started, that was just my whole brand. I was like, well, just.
Yeah.
I'm like, I love acting, but I was like, I really don't want to be like a persona, which is like, there's a lot of women in this industry that make so much money off of that. And I was like, great for them. I don't think I could do it and be successful in the way that they are. I feel like if I do it my way, I'm at least gonna be happy. I'm gonna be happy doing it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I feel like
that's one thing we have in common for sure. Is, just being myself and not apologetic about it has taken me far.
Hell yeah.
I just started dating someone who's like way out of my league. She's so hot and totally bagged her just by being authentic.
But that's the best.
I told her at some point, I was like, you're so out of my league. What am I doing? And she goes, and then she told me, she's very sweet. She's like, no, because you're like authentic. You're you. There's only one Lucy Hart, and that's you. And I don't know. It was very sweet. I love that. It's very sweet. So,
no, that is the best way with dating. Because same thing, like, especially in LA, I don't know, LA was pretty hard for dating. For me, I was just like, any guy, especially like ones that aren't part adult, they were like, they have this idea of like what we are and what we're okay with. And I was like, no, I'm still a woman. I'm still gonna talk my shit and you're still gonna respect me and you're still gonna. But a lot of times that's not even what bothered me the most. It was always just the inauthenticity of like going on dates but to some degree I understand this is probably like what they think women want to hear, which is like, I make this much or I do this and I'm working on this project and it was always about projects and I'm like, okay, but like what makes you happy? What makes you? What makes you, you know?
Yeah.
And now this is what I do for a living. I'm pretty much just like dating people constantly, but I'm always like, this is a safe space.
Totally.
Please just be yourself.
I've never been on a date with a guy. I can imagine what it's like.
It's not fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry you got to do. Yeah. Cause like I was a guy going on dates and I was an idiot, you know, like it's hard being dumb, you know?
Is it easier dating as a woman now? Women or what's?
Well, way harder, but way easier. So the difference is when I was a guy, I was like, attracting so much that like I was weeding out. I was like, it was a problem. There's too many women to like come at me. Yeah. Aaron has the same problem, like small hands. Yeah. Same boat. Of course. Like he's actually, and like I would live with him for a little bit and we'd be in the kitchen and he'd be like, God, another one of my DMs, just leave me alone. You know what I mean? And it's a supply and demand thing.
For sure.
Like there's just not that many hot, nice guys, you know?
Yeah.
And so hot, nice guys.
Women are like, oh my God. Yeah. We flock like, to you.
Hot, nice guys get the same treatment that like pretty women get from men.
For sure. Just like I bet my and Aaron's DMs are like the same. They're just like almost like it's like so much unwanted or non-consensual like pics and energy that you're like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. So I was like getting a lot of that. And
then that's not
when I got successful and I got in a place of like more power, when I like owned a network and I was like booking people and then like hiring directors and shit and like teaching performers how to direct and like making them directors. Wow. That was awesome and very fulfilling, but like a lot of it was confusing because I didn't know who wanted to like date me or be my friend or
work,
wanted to be a director. And like,
yeah.
there's not too many paths to that in our industry, you know? And I was a path that like, it was very clear they didn't have to like sleep their way into it.
Right.
You know, because I just like wanted to help people.
Yeah.
So, but also people, I don't know. Yeah, it's confusing with like friendships and dating. That got confusing.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I didn't like that. And then also I looked very daddy. I was the spokesmodel of Playgirl. I was like
wow.
very like daddy looking man, you know, like hairy chest, all that. And, but I was not daddy. I was a woman. You know what I mean? But I didn't know how to communicate that or say that. Or even sometimes I would come out with that and people just didn't know what to do with it.
Right.
When I was a guy. They'd be like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? But not
like, they only know how to perceive what they're looking at the time.
When you look at a cis het male with like scruff on his face and like defined shoulder muscles, you know, and like a hairy chest sticking through the wife beater. And they're like, says, I'm trans, I just haven't done it yet.
Right.
They're like, all right. You're like, what do you say to that? You know what I mean? So I didn't, so all of that was harder, it's more confusing, but also easier because now it's the other hand, like, I feel great about the way I look and present and everything, but I get rejected way more, and I'm constant in all my relationships. I'm the one chasing them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I feel like they're out of my league. You know what I mean? And like I'm like, because I'm attracted to femmes that like trans women, which is like not the majority. You know, it's part of why I live in Bushwick though, because in Bushwick it's like more common than probably anywhere in the world. You know, so it's normal. But even with that, yeah, it's just harder to like get a date and like find someone and you know what I mean, that kind of stuff. But people who do date me, they do see me as me.
Yeah,
you know what
that's
I mean?
awesome.
So I love that. I'm way better in bed now. Like leaps and bounds because I'm actually me doing it.
Right.
You know? And I'm much more comfortable as a dom and a bottom and a sub and a top, all those things.
All of it.
When I was a guy, I was very comfortable as a sub and a bottom because I had like won so many awards for it and shit and I made tons of money from it. But as a top, it really wasn't my shtick. You know what I mean? I would get booked for it sometimes. I could do it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in like an at-home relationship, you're not, it's not like your wife throws a strap-on on every night.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, sometimes, you know what I mean? But most of the time, it's like you get in your jammies, you do your human skincare and all that. And then and you start kissing and good night, baby. And then that leads into like lazy married sex.
Right.
You know, which is like, so, and I wasn't that confident with that. You know what I mean? So that was hard. But now I can lay it down, you know? So that's good.
I love that.
It feels good. You know?
Feels good.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
What impact do you want to leave on the adult entertainment industry?
Oh, what would I want to leave on it? We've come so far as far as like positive social change, but we have a long way to go. And I would love it if like my work at FSC, our trade association for adult, I would love it if we could like actually end banking discrimination because that's we've all just accepted it. Yeah, that it's all of us may lose our bank account today or tomorrow, and all your money's frozen, and you can't access it for 6 weeks. And
oh my god,
when you go to try to open a new account, when you get your money back, you get a check in the mail. So it happened to me 3 times in a row.
Oh my God.
And the checks were like 60,000, 30,000, 20,000. So when you go into a bank with just a check for 60 grand, that's a red flag.
Yeah. They're like,
and they're all in cahoots. They're part of the SWIFT, I think it is. Anyway, they're all in the same network. So, so you just lose the next one too. So what happens is it's a life-changing event. Like I was screwed. You know what I mean? Because you're like not having access to money means you can't really live in America.
Yeah.
You
That's
know?
insane.
I'm not like one of those like I do hate capitalism, but like it's like hating air.
Yeah.
Like we have to breathe it. I live here in America. Like what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Like a fish hating water or something. Like it just is. But in order to live here, you have to have access to money.
Yeah.
Unless I don't have anyone taking care of me. You know what I mean?
Mm-mm.
So that sucks, and I want to end that for everyone.
Yeah.
And there's some terms like search terms and stuff like that on the internet that need to go away. You know, like just slurs, straight up slurs.
Yeah,
that you or I would never ever say out loud.
No,
is like the title of most adult films
I
or
feel like
website names.
That's why I feel like even sometimes people will attach shame to because they'll go and I mean, most of the time they're looking up things that it's just these titles are like, of course, I don't know if I was jerking off to. I'm not even going to say these titles, but just these very racially.
Yeah. I was talking to my partner about it last night. We're like laying in bed and I'm poly, so I've seen a couple people, but I'm with my partner and they're a in-person worker. They've never done online work at all. Okay. So they have a ton of, they're like so good at that. You know? And like very well respected in the local community with that. And like the BDSM world, but just not someone you would know from Instagram. You know what I mean? And so I always have questions for them, and they always have questions for me. And they were shocked that like some of the names of the sites still exist. That I was talking. I was like, yeah. And I was like, when I was new, I worked for this one, and they're just laughing, like that's a thing. You know what I mean? Like it, So that needs to change, and we've come a long way. I was fortunate I got to be a part of the adding all the genders to so when you go to a site you can often search by like male performers, female performers, trans performers. Now you can search by non-binary performers, non-binary masked, non-binary femme on the majority of sites. So not all, but many are following suit because they see that everyone else is doing it and we're still making money. You know what I mean? Because that was the fear. Like, no one's going to want to look at someone that looks like a cis woman and then find them through the non-binary category. Like that's just going to break everything was what they were worried about. But what that meant was all the non-binary performers had to literally like just be the wrong gender. Yeah. You know, in order to make money. Yeah. They had to like just pretend they were the gender they were born with. Yeah. Which is awful. Yeah. It would be if I had to go perform in. I'm fortunate I'm a trans woman where it's one of the popular categories. Yeah. You know? If I had to still like be tagged and categorized as a man. Right. It'd be horrible.
That would also just be confusing.
And like the titles would have to be made. Yeah. It'd be terribly confusing. But so now, and I think that's had a ripple effect and stuff like that. But for sure. What hasn't changed is the ads you see on tube sites. Because there's I don't know. Maybe one day I'll figure that out, but I don't know how we as an industry affect that because they're not us, the people that buy those ads. They're someone overseas generally trying to sell ED pills or whatever, like Facebook for grannies that want to
literally,
you know what I mean? Like
every time I see them, I'm
if
like,
you click on it, that's what they're trying to sell. And I don't know who runs that, and you don't know, and no one knows, and we don't know anyone that knows. Like you can't call Bree Mills and be like, Bree, do you know anyone who makes this? Because Bree wouldn't know. You know what I mean? Like literally,
no. It's almost like their own little world. Like it's almost like separate from our industry.
There used to be a convention called Phoenix Forum that I would go to every year, and those people would be there. So like I met a lot of them, but I don't know which. I don't even have their contact. It was years ago. They don't have that convention anymore. You know what I mean? So
I'd be so intrigued though if they still did. I would love to go there and like, it
was cool. That's where I learned how to do like build a network. So it was it was cool. It was like the nerdy back end of adult.
That's
like it wasn't stars and stuff. No one went there and put an ad up or anything, but it was the people that own the businesses. Okay. So like people that run Adult Time and
Yeah.
ALO and all that, they would be there. They'd have their admin there.
Okay. That's cool.
And then,
I would like that.
This is great for me because I got to learn, like, because I felt like I needed to build one. I had to build one. I was a blacklisted crossover, so like people weren't going to hire me. You know what I mean? So I had to make my own. And that was, I guess, for people listening, they wouldn't know what a crossover is. So there was a time until pretty recently, until like a few years ago, if a male performer worked in the gay side and the straight side, they were called, or the trans side.
Oh, yeah.
You work in gay and trans, but you can't work in either of those and straight because just homophobia. Yeah. Like you can't mix homo stuff.
Oh, okay.
Or queer stuff with straight stuff.
Okay.
And it was like every month, like a couple emails would go out from all the agencies like that we know of. And they would like list, the people who you absolutely cannot work with.
Even if you were on PrEP?
Oh, they didn't know what PrEP is.
Oh.
Straight people don't know what PrEP is. I mean, you know what PrEP is? It's just awesome.
I do.
But,
I learned about it.
Like, you know what I mean? Like
I learned about it through being an adult. But, but Well,
also, I was in adult before PrEP.
Oh, okay.
Was before I knew what PrEP was. You know what I mean? Like, I think people in San Francisco, if you're like gay in San Francisco, you know what I mean? But like a lot of people didn't know. And, but it doesn't matter if you know PrEP, like, because if.
Oh, they were just straight up like.
Yeah.
No.
Like, literally, the idea of U equals U is they don't get. And the reason we have a 14-day test is because if you or I get tested today.
Right.
And go bareback a bunch of hobos and share needles. And just totally contract full-blown AIDS. Right. Like skip right ahead to the end. It would be impossible for either of us to transmit it to anyone for like 16 or 17 days. Like that would be the earliest ever in humanity anyone's ever been able to pass it on. Normally it's like 6 weeks. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But so we decided as an industry to move it from a month to 14 days. That's why you expire in 14 days.
Oh,
so
I didn't know that.
It doesn't matter. You don't have to know anything about anyone. You just have to look at the test and look at the date. And is it within the past 14 days? Okay, there is a 0.0% chance this person could give me HIV.
Exactly. So then,
even if
that's
they
what
have
I mean.
HIV,
I'm like,
even if they have HIV and they're non-reactive,
and
they take that test, it takes 14 days of them like goofing and not taking their meds, or whatever, and then they're still safe.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's like
people just aren't educating themselves.
Yeah, and I've tried so hard. Like I'm on the board at PASS, and but people it's not gonna.
Yeah,
if you're straight, the deal is straight white girls are not allowed to get HIV. That's like how the world works. You know what I mean? Like they're just not allowed. You know, like if that happened to you, it would be a life-changing thing, even though you could take meds and you'd be fine, just like every gay guy.
No, it would be
totally fine.
It would sweep the nation,
but
for sure.
Good luck getting a date.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because no straight guy's going to be like, understand that.
No. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're done, right?
Yeah.
So people need to protect the pretty straight white girls.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that's what happened with the crossover thing. So at all costs, protect them. So so we I was banned from most things. I got a lot of, but I still got more work than most straight male talent because I did all the crossover shoots. Yeah. And there was only like a few of us. It was a supply and demand thing. Like if you needed a guy to do pegging, there's like 6 to pick from, and one of them has good abs, and that's me. So, I got books like 23 times a month. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I could pick my own rate because there weren't anyone else to do it. Yeah. So like I was back in like 2015, I was getting 1,000 a shoot, which is great for male talent. Like that's like top tier levels, but I wasn't allowed to work. I wouldn't have, no one would have booked me with you. It just would not have been allowed. You know what I mean? Yeah. So,
well, that's why I was also not with an agency.
Yeah.
I was like, I would like to get to choose.
Yeah. The
what
first
I do.
2 girls I dated when I got an adult, we were in long relationships, and they had to be secret. we couldn't walk together at AVN. It was like we couldn't post together on the internet.
Damn.
Totally had to be secret squirrel. And
it's kind of hot, but sad.
Sad. I was fun. It made me so sad.
Aww.
And like, I mean, one of them would like cry all the time about it. Like, I'm so sorry, you know, because she would feel awful.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
That's just the way it was. And then more people learned about PrEP. And then I think when that really shifted is when Dante Cole won the Performer of the Year, like overall, like the all gender Performer of the Year award at XBiz. I think that was 2020 or 2021. It was like official.
Okay.
Like, okay. And then he was getting booked in like mainstream, like straight stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like he was doing it all. And that was brand new. And so that was great. It was such a win for all of us. You know what I mean? When Dante won that, it was huge.
Yeah. I've shot with him a few times. He's a sweet
guy. Great
guy.
Performer. Yeah. I used to hire him all the time. He was great. Good actor too. Great improv.
Yeah.
We made some really funny stuff together. It was cool. But that's like the social stuff. That's what I would want to impact. I mean, I'm kind of like, I'm. It's a good problem to have, but I'm getting older, and I have no interest in winning the Shiny Awards anymore.
Yeah.
Because now New York's so great for that. Like, there's not any room. Like, you get an apartment here, it's tiny. And like, you have weird problems. Like your bathroom sink barely fits in your bathroom.
Right.
You know? So like, and there's just no shelves. So you can't
you're like,
put
I don't need all these awards just like displayed. Yeah.
There's literally in Vegas, okay. You can have a whole
for
guest
sure.
you have a guest room. When I was married to Charlotte, we had a 5-bedroom house.
Yeah.
So we had a guest room, our room, and then we had 3 other rooms. So one of them was her library where she kept all her tarantulas. And then
oh my God.
One of them was our office where we shared an office. And the other one was the 5th room is what we called it because we didn't know what to do with it. It was just like an extra room and we could put our awards in there and stuff like that and whatever. You know what I mean? Like that was, but that ain't a New York thing. So now I'm like, you feel like you can't, I feel like I can't throw them away. So I have like 4 in my room now because I have bookshelves. And so I need bookends, you know?
Oh, there you go.
So I have 4 for that. And they're just arbitrary out of like the 28 or whatever there are, you know?
Oh my God.
And the rest are in storage.
Nice.
Which I have to pay for. You know what I mean? And I'm like, so I don't want.
Yeah, you're like, please don't.
Yeah, no. So I don't like have any desire to go to AVN.
No.
Or XBiz now. Like, it would be a cool reunion to see my friends.
Right, here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be cool. Laura just, one of the people I'm dating just went, it goes every year for other things. And she's so cool. She's like kind of made a living out of being at the end of the red carpet with a microphone and interviewing people.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Like has like.
Love that.
It's so cool. Like badass. So anyway, she had to be there. And at first she's like, why don't you go, babe? It'll be fun. And I was like, yeah. And then halfway through, she's like, this sucks. I want to go home, you know, because it's exhausting.
Yeah.
And like, you know, and you get sick. And
everyone was,
and once you've like hugged and hung out with and caught up with the 15 people you wanted to see. Yeah. It's kind of like.
You're like, okay, why am I don't need to be here for 4
now
days.
I'm just avoiding sexual assault.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Literally.
Like, from fans or other performers. You know what I mean? Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So I don't care about that anymore. Money, like, I don't know. I was rich for a while. I'm not now for sure. I'd like to be back to where I like always have 6 months worth of bills saved up and like a retirement fund would be cool. I had all that. I spent it transitioning. So it blew it all getting hot. And then, most of my goals now are like writing and I want to get a PhD. So like, that's a thing. But for the industry, just the social stuff. Yeah. That stuff needs to change. And,
I think we're getting there.
We do what we can. Like when I'm at FSC board meetings and past board meetings, it's like we're trying everything we can, but we're so not powerful because most people don't know what the FSC is or what PASS is until there's a crisis. And then
literally,
then they're like, who's going to fix this? And then they're like, oh, we have a trade association. No shit. Okay, it's their problem. All right. And then, But yeah, the age verification thing is a big problem too.
Yeah.
But that's like, I hate to say it, but it's just inevitable. Like porn's going to be illegal in America. You know what I mean? There's no, it's already illegal in 18 states.
Yeah.
It was 17 a week ago. You know what I mean? Like we're done. But everyone's always going to need it and want it.
Yeah.
So it'll go into like some kind of prohibition era thing.
Nice.
Which will be super fun and interesting if you're the criminal minded type.
Right.
Because you'll be like, hell yeah, we're balling now. Just like prohibition,
Yeah.
But you might do time. You know
You
what I
might
mean?
do time.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So,
damn.
yeah. We'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it
That's
goes.
my guess.
Right.
Because I don't know what else is going to happen, So,
Right.
I sold my network to a company based in Holland, and they make the majority of their money globally, like not so they're not too worried about America.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's still going to exist.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's who funded my new production. Is those guys because they still have money. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who are some people that have influenced you the most?
God, there's so many. Most recently, Aaron Smallhands, like in a personal way.
Yeah.
Like just literally saved my life. I was in dark time, which I wouldn't go into here because it's not sexy, but it's human, you know what I mean? We're just humans, and we'd go through shit, you know? And we weren't even that close. At the time, we were definitely friends.
Yeah.
And I always enjoyed Aaron's company and always really respected Aaron. But I knew more was like I'd hang out with Aaron because Joanna invited me somewhere.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah.
That was my relationship with Aaron. I think I didn't even I didn't know his last name until like a year ago. You know?
Yeah.
And then, but he just like could sense that I was not something I needed help, and he invited me over and had like a real heart to heart with me, and he cried because he's always crying.
Yeah,
and he's such a sexy crier.
I
He's
know.
like such a.
We've every time we go to dinner we cry.
He looks like you want to look at a movie when he cries.
Yeah.
It's just like beautiful, like one tear.
Yeah.
I ugly face cry.
Same.
I actually have no tears. It's just ugly face. That's all I got. In the breathing. You know what I mean? And then it still get released. I get released from it. But anyway, Aaron was like, babe, let's make some changes. And I did. I listened to him. You know what I mean? He just had so much conviction in his presence. He moved me in with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was going through a rough spot, you know? And so we just, we're just kind of in each other's presence for like 3 months.
That's so special.
It was beautiful. Yeah, it's just, we'll always have that. You know what I mean? So, but he's influenced me emotionally.
I love that.
I would say
Yeah.
like life influence. And then there's like people who like the way they present and image stuff. Like when I turned from daddy to mommy, Penny Barber was like someone I looked at a lot for like MILF.
Yeah.
Like how do you MILF? Penny Barber.
Yeah.
That's
Penny
how you
Barber.
MILF.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's how you do that. And also I know Penny. I love Penny, and Penny's queer like me. So like we,
dope.
Totally can get down with Penny. So that's Penny Barber for that. And who else? There's so many BDSM people that taught me a ton.
Yeah.
Madeline who used to be at Kink, Madeline Marlowe. I learned so much from them. I think they're them now over the years. I'll just say them just to be safe. And tons. I'm gonna go home and be like, oh, I can't believe I left this person out.
No.
But one person no one's gonna know from the show, but I'm gonna mention Shayla owns the biggest dungeon in Manhattan.
Oh wow.
And it's literally across the street from where we're at right now, which is cool.
Oh,
That's
wow.
how I was like, oh, it's right there. Like,
Nice.
They don't know where we're at right now, right? There's no. Okay,
No.
So we're okay,
No.
just making sure. Yeah, I thought so. I was like almost positive. But Shayla's like a community leader in New York, like someone that has helped me a ton. I know her because she flew to Vegas from New York to take care of me after one of my trans surgeries.
Oh, okay.
And just a good person. And I always look up to her as like someone like the kind of leader I want to be. You know what I mean? Who like her dungeon's a safe space for like workers like us to show up, and that's where I have my writing group. You know what I mean? And like people do arts and crafts there and stuff. Like it's just beautiful. And there's so many people like that no one knows. You know, because Sheila's not an internet, like doesn't do video. She's just a really good nom.
Oh wow,
you know what I mean? And
Love
like that
that.
owns a dungeon, so, but she doesn't. I think her Instagram's probably private. You know what I mean? So like that.
Not chronically online and doing all the things.
But she's dope.
Okay.
Sheila's dope. Yeah.
What makes you happiest right now?
Ooh. Ooh. Well, last night I was snuggling with someone I love, and we were watching an alien movie, like Alien Covenant, and they hadn't seen it before, and it's one of my faves. Okay. And we ordered Mexican food.
Love.
In bed, and we ate it in bed while we watched the movie.
Oh, that's the best.
And then it's just they sleep with like earplugs and a mask on, so they go full isolation.
Yeah.
So that means like, okay, I can relax and like fart now. You know what I mean? Like basically, and just take over my side of the bed.
I love that.
And in the morning, it was like back to snuggle.
Yeah.
And then my cat, who I love very much, was just a total dick this morning and just kept stepping on both our heads. And so I didn't love that, but I love the way they handled it. They were like kind to my cat, you know, and like threatened his life a few times, but like in a cute way, you know? And then we had breakfast with my awesome roommate. He's like dope. And just like I hit the roommate lottery in New York. And they're just a super computer nerd that just like games all day, like always has the headphones on.
Oh my God.
And then when they're in the common areas, they're watching YouTubes about gaming.
Oh my God.
But
wow,
they get so much pussy. It's like crazy. It's just constant. I'm on Field now.
Yeah.
Just for why not?
Yeah.
And I saw their profile on Field. It's just them. Just imagine like a little dude with floppy hair with a mustache giving double thumbs up. You know what I mean? Like that's their profile and Field.
And he gets
somehow slays it.
Wow.
And just like a different hottie over, just a different girl over like almost every night. And one of his regulars was over. So I cooked breakfast for everyone.
Oh.
And it was so sweet.
I love that.
And then I kissed my partner goodbye and they went to yoga. And that's what makes me happy.
Yeah. Just
you know what
sweet.
I mean? Community. And also, like, community here in Brooklyn is amazing. You can be yourself here, and it's New York. Like, someone, if they don't want to be your friend, you know what I mean?
It's
And
I feel like LA, it's so different.
Yeah,
because you don't know.
Well, here we say, like, oh, I do work with them, or like I've collabed with them, or like. I do doubles with them or whatever.
Okay.
But in LA, everybody, you just say, that's my friend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just confusing.
Yeah.
It's like I'm autistic. I need to know like who.
Why? What's your relation to this human? Yeah.
When I lived out west, one night I called someone crying at like, not late, like 9:30 p.m.
Yeah.
Someone who said they were my friend many times. Right. And I said they were my friend. And they, if I was in town, they would be like mad if I didn't call them, you know what I mean? So I thought friend, you know? And I didn't think that like consider that they've been on my payroll for 2 years too. And they rely on me to book them for shoots, you know?
Yeah.
And, but you know, so I called them crying one night and they were like, they were just so uncomfortable. It was like clearly way out of bounds to call a coworker, like
that sucks though.
At 9:30 at night, like crying, you know, like to them, I was their like, I guess boss or like someone who someone that could book them, you know?
Right.
But so confusing to me. And oops, you know what I mean? I don't know. And even I went out and met them, saw them the next time I was in LA and we had dinner or lunch and I like felt like I had to apologize. That was the last conversation I had with them. So I was like, it's awkward. So they're like, hey, I'm sorry that was out of bounds when I called you that night. And they were like, hey, you know, I've let it go. And da da da. And so they were like seriously upset about that. And I was like,
wow, okay.
But they let it go and we're cool now. But like, That's LA. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, so,
That is for
but
sure.
New York, I love it here because we're like, yeah, I've like people to play with, do BDSM with,
Mhm.
and there's an event. It's a little private play party called Vamp Dykes. It's Vampire Dykes, and
Love.
it's a few times a year, and it's just no cis men allowed, but you can be non-binary or whatever,
Okay.
and mostly femmes, but some trans masks, and just doing blood play, you know, and
Wow.
it's so hot, you know, and people hook up. Like I've got laid there once, but most of the time I just watch, and then
Yeah.
there's cookies and snacks,
Nice.
and it's just so nice, and the music isn't like blaring loud, so everybody can talk.
Oh,
And,
okay. Yeah. I love that.
Because it's just like a femme energy in there. It's not this like cruising.
Once-
I mean, we
once-
cruise each other. We're a bunch of dykes, but like
Right.
it's not like mass cruising. It's very different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mass cruising, I'm always like
It's just
a little
different.
terrified.
Yeah. I used to do a lot of like gay events, male gay events when I was a man.
Mhm.
And so I was a gay performer. And it was cool. What's cool about those events is everybody's really happy. It's like a really happy, there's no drama. There's no like, oh, I'm so mad at my girlfriend today, or my girlfriend, or there's no girl. Like
Yeah.
it's like this motherfucker, da 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 da.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't catch any of that because literally everyone at the function is getting laid.
Yeah.
You know, like that night, probably 4 times.
Oh
Like,
my God.
and at those events, consent starts after French kissing. So you just, everyone you walk up to, instead of shaking their hands or high five or nice to meet you,
Just start making out.
you just start kissing. And then right after you disembrace, they're like, so you here with anyone? I'm Bruno. What's your name? I'm Lance.
Right.
You know, we just talk. And then very chill vibes.
Love that.
But like, yeah, I've seen like straight on, like cis straight cruising. And it's like, it's a little different. You know what I mean? It's different than that,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's way different for good reason, you know?
Right. What's a life event that shaped you?
But life event, there's been so many. Yeah. I'll pick one that wasn't traumatic. And
I mean,
I'm doing,
we share trauma here.
I'll give one plug to EMDR as a method of therapy. I've been doing EMDR lately. I don't know if you've heard of that.
I've
but
heard of it. I wanted to try it.
It's so fucking effective on me anyway. I've heard
Okay.
there's some people it doesn't work with, but
Okay.
it's like years of progress like crammed into like 2 sessions. I mean, it's like
That sounds
crazy effective. And it's so easy, and you feel like at first like this is so hokey, like this isn't going to do anything because you're literally on Zoom with someone. Like,
oh wow!
and
Even just that,
you can
like,
do it in
not-
person, but you can do it just as
but
good on Zoom.
Even
So most
I didn't
people
even know
do it on
that
Zoom. And
they offered that.
they share a screen with you, and it's like a dot moving across your laptop screen.
Wow.
And you just, as they talk to you and you talk to them, you watch the dot just with your eyes. And for some reason, that shakes some shit loose. Like it, like because
Wow.
you're activating both sides of your brain, and all the whatever your vision center is just has to like something happens when you have to look over there and look over there. Like a
Uh-huh.
lot of things have to happen, and instinctual things and stuff like that.
Crazy.
So, it's almost like a windshield wiper, just like wiping you clean, you know?
Okay.
And you just you just tell stories about stuff that affected you. And,
Okay.
I mean, honestly, I started it. I like stuck my toe in the water with maybe traumatic, maybe not, just awful ex-girlfriend, you
Mhm.
know? That I was like, I don't know if they say they were emotionally abusive so much, but and then we started doing the EMDR, and I started letting shit go, and I was like, wow. And then also I started remembering stuff. And
Yeah,
then
that's
now
what
I'm
I
like,
hear
okay,
is-
they're problematic. They were
Yeah.
abusive for sure, you know?
Yeah.
But really cool and effective. So, but life-changing events, I guess doing that's one,
Yeah.
right? That's
yeah,
cool.
that's a big shift.
That's one. Lately, like performing something that I wrote on a stage, like in a professional setting, and then getting paid for it was life changing. Because like
Yeah.
it was a packed house, the crowd went apeshit. Like it was very fulfilling,
Oh,
and it was just something I did with my brain and my hands. Like I just
That's
wrote pen to paper,
right.
and then I just read. I mean, I definitely look sexy on stage. Like I slutted up as hard as I could. And it was an erotic piece. People came to hear erotica.
Oh, okay.
But that opened up whole parts of my brain and like hopes and dreams and stuff. Cause I was like, whoa, I can do other stuff, you know? That was one. There's been some shoots I've been a part of, like too many lists that were just like mind blowing. Some orgies here and there, I guess, that where I just felt this connection to everybody. Like it's beautiful. Not so much during the hookup, but like after that hang after. Have you done many orgies or?
I think honestly, just like Balesa shoots.
Okay, cool. I did one of those. It's fun.
I'm like, I think that's the only time though. Yeah. I was just talking with, I wasn't talking with Casey Calvert, but I was talking to a friend of ours and he was saying that there's things that she's done in porn, but she wanted to try with him. And so I was like, wow, that is crazy. There are things I've done in the industry, but technically I'm still a virgin to those experiences because I haven't gotten to have them outside of doing it on camera.
Sure, so
that and like some threesomes and stuff. I'm like, there's a few things that I'm like I've only done professionally, but I would love to do. And because it sounds like that, you know, it's more like an energetic exchange and experience versus just like working.
Yeah. I would, Wolf Hudson and I would host, we would put on an orgy, my birthday, my sober anniversary, and New Year's every year. Oh. And for like 2 or 3 years. This didn't go on for a long time, but so we had a handful of orgies, and they're always, we didn't say queer so much at the time because this is years ago. Oh, okay. That's more of like a newer thing that queer people say. Anyway, we would say, we call them bi orgies.
Okay.
But really it was queer. It was like people of all genders and people with gender fucky genders. You know what I mean? Like in the middle genders. And people would just not like cis women would show up and be like, my vagina is off limits. I'm wearing a strap on.
Wow.
This is my dick. This is what I use. Like we would do a consent talk in the beginning and just go around the room.
Awesome. Yeah.
And everybody would be like, touch me here. I love this. We'll do this. Yeah. Don't want to do that.
Don't want to do that.
And then, it's beautiful. And those after, some of them were just so like the chill when we would all get food after, because you're hungry. That. And when we're all just like eating snacks or pizza or whatever and just like lazy around. Okay. Half of us are wearing some clothes, most of us not, you know? Yeah. And just like being sloppy. The way we connected to each other was life-changing for me because I was like, this is available.
Right.
Like I didn't know it was a thing. Like humans some of these people I just met that day.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I felt love, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like the same but different kind you would get with your girlfriend, you know, or wife.
No, it's different. I don't know.
Like a no strings attached.
Yeah.
Which
you're like,
makes
oh,
it
this is just a beautiful human being that I am sharing this experience with.
Yeah. That was cool. Yeah. Bunch. I've been lucky. I've had a bunch. Yeah.
If you were to host a dinner based on you, what would you serve? I'm picturing picture like if you're gonna host like an elaborate dinner / orgy, like what would you serve?
Oh, okay.
Based on like, this is a dinner for Lucy Hart. Like, what would that look like?
Oh, okay, gotcha. Man, so there'd be like a seafood buffet situation,
of course,
because a lot of femmes who will have sex with a trans woman are often pescatarian, vegetarian, vegan. Okay. There's just a huge crossover there.
Interesting.
So, so seafood for the pescatarians, and then we gotta have like a gluten-free vegan situation going on that fucks, like a good one. Like
have you eaten at 11 in Madison?
Yeah, I went there
something
once.
like that.
Yeah, with Aaron. Actually, yeah. That was good.
Yeah,
but also I left so hungry.
Yeah.
I totally ordered Wendy's when I got home. I was
yeah.
starving.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say that filled me up, but
something, you know.
like a really good red beans and rice.
Ooh.
Or something
yeah.
like filling.
You're from Louisiana.
Hits and sticks. Yeah. Like a red beans and rice, maybe some greens, and like good vegan veggies.
Yeah.
Tasty
You
shit.
could do vegan food right. If you know.
Yeah, totally.
I feel
it's
like
not the greens, you're not cooking it with lard, so it's not going to be as good, but it's still you can make it good.
you make it good.
You can make up for it with
Find
sodium.
some vegan butter or something. I don't know.
Yeah, some oil.
Olive
you
oil?
use
Yeah.
vegetable oil
Just
or whatever,
olive oil and
olive
sea
oil,
salt.
and then you're a cook, you know. Yeah, I mean, yeah, and then definitely like steak.
Yeah.
For me and whoever else like eats it, like steak.
What kind of steak? Like, are we talking about like a New York or a ribeye? Or
I like a ribeye.
ribeye.
If I'm going out to a steakhouse, I always get. Lately, I get just a fillet.
Yeah.
Because I want to eat the sides and I want to get dessert.
Yeah.
So I don't want to fill up on steak.
Smart. There you go.
But I do out of all the steaks, ribeye's my favorite.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And so probably steaks, and then like the sides you get at a steakhouse would just be an easy
mashed
way
potatoes.
to say it. Yeah, mashed potatoes, mac and cheese. Again, the greens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not I like mushrooms, not a huge mushroom people, but it's always a crowd pleaser.
Yeah.
Especially with queer vegans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're going to want some mushrooms.
If you got some lion's mane, some shiitake.
Yeah. So that, I'd say like a spread.
I like that. That'd
rolls,
be fun.
definitely rolls. Like either biscuits or rolls.
Okay.
I'm a huge fan of biscuits and rolls. I do it weird. I cooked for when you were together. I had him over for dinner, and I never thought it was weird that I served biscuits with like spaghetti and meat sauce because it's so good to eat off the biscuit. And they were like, biscuits, eh? You know what I mean? And then,
like, oh, whoops.
Yeah. Or no, it was Indian food. I was cooking Indian food.
Oh.
And they were like, Indian food and a biscuit. And I was like, well, I don't know how to make naan.
Yeah. You're like, this is.
Like, so yeah, biscuit. Good.
Okay.
And it was good. It was delicious. But it was like, Joanna was like, you know.
Yeah. No, that actually sounds perfect.
It's pretty good. I mean, naan's one of my faves.
Yeah.
But
if you're going to have, like a little bread thing to soak up all the
you got to have a thing of soak
curries and stuff, I feel like that sounds really good.
Do you know how to make naan?
Naan? No.
So I like, because I want to know why there isn't fast food naan.
Right.
Like, why can't I just go to a drive-thru and get, because like if I get Indian food, I take the garlic butter naan and I fill it up with the chicken, the spicy chicken stuff and some rice and some veggies. And I make like a little gyro out of it.
Yeah.
And I eat it like that. It's delicious.
It's so good.
Why can't that just be like a sandwich I order through drive-thru?
I know.
I feel like it would make millions, but
maybe that'll be like one of your random side quests.
Is there? I mean, they cook it. There's like an apparatus or something they eat, right? Don't they cook it on like a big stone or something?
Yeah,
or like a big piece of metal.
Yeah, I don't want to offend anyone, so I'm not sure traditionally how it's made, but it's definitely its own process. Like it's not like just making any other bread side. Yeah, it's like not. But I barely even scratched the surface with making any sort of bread stuff. Bread was. You have to be patient, and I loved when I was a cook. I was like a saute chef most of the time. So I was just line cook, saute chef. I got to just make things and serve it, and just. So
you can make a sauce.
Yeah, I can make sauces. I can do that.
I have an uncle Don. This guy can make a sauce. Like he's not a pro cook, but he's a high functioning alcoholic is what he is. So he's just always buzzed. Everybody loves him. Great guy. Might or might not show up because he's always drunk. But when he does, he'll get a little buzzed in it. Like if the party's still going on at like 2 a.m., he'll just disappear. He'll come back from the kitchen with like a cast iron skillet of like the best sauce you've ever had and some bread. Just some like bread to dip. Wow. He's Cajun. It's like my Louisiana family.
I'm Cajun too.
Are you really?
Yeah.
What? Okay. Where from?
Well, my dad's side of the family moved from New Orleans to Huntington Beach, and like that's just where my dad's side of the family is.
Oh shit! Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I I didn't really grow up with my dad though, but
Yeah.
I always knew that I was part Creole.
Do you ever go to Louisiana?
I've never been. I really do want to go.
It's fun. Food's
I do
good.
know how to make gumbo. I do know how to
Cool.
make all the dishes
Good.
because
I would love to feed you my gumbo.
Oh, I'm so
It's
down.
good. My mom's gumbo is the best I've ever had ever.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been to like the best restaurants in New Orleans. You know what I
Right.
mean? Hers is better. Mine's like a couple levels behind that, but it's still really good.
Still really good.
It's still
Okay.
really good. She
I'm
won't
super
tell
down.
me. Like I've asked her so many times, like, what's the real recipe? She's like, honey, I've given you the recipe. And I'm like,
You're like, no.
You're not, because it's not, because yours is better. Like, what the fuck?
She's gonna wait. She's gonna wait till it's like her last few breaths, and then she's
Maybe.
like, maybe I'll give
Yeah.
it to you. You're like,
Yeah,
woman, we don't have time.
we don't have time for that. I want to get laid with a gumbo.
Yeah.
Not like be old and like beyond sex. And then now I can, yeah.
Damn.
Anyway,
Oh, well,
do you cook with like cast iron at home, or do you have like
yeah,
special
I have ceramic and cast iron.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No Teflon.
No Teflon. Yeah.
I did cook with that for a long time though. And just because I was like, it's just nonstick. It's easy. But
Yeah.
now that, I don't know, I can afford nice kitchen stuff. I'm
Sure.
like, I should not, I don't need Target pans. I should go I got some like good ceramic
Yeah.
stuff.
It's nice, and it's so worth it because it's something you're gonna have the rest of your life.
Yeah, exactly.
And, well, pretty long anyway. I mean, I guess eventually it'll go bad, but
yeah.
but
I
20
love me a
years at
cast iron.
least, right? Like,
Yeah.
as long as you take care of the cast iron,
Yeah.
it's like, we have a cast iron skillet at home, but we have an electric stove, so you can do it. But I almost feel like it's weird because it's glass, and I don't know.
Yeah.
So I don't
You're
know do it.
this
So I
is-
just cook on I have those caraway pots and pans. I don't know
Okay.
if you ever use those, but they're pretty good.
Yeah.
They're not bad. They're not like the best of the best, but you can put them in the oven. You
I'm
know what I
always like,
mean?
if it gets the job done, I'm happy.
Yeah, it gets the job done. It's pretty easy to get the gook off.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like the goop.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's pretty
That's
easy
why
to
I
get that
got
off.
the ceramic ones that they're really easy to clean.
Cool.
And
Yeah,
they're like sturdier. Like I don't know.
Okay.
It's like they don't really break easily.
Can you put them in the oven?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
one of those. It's like,
Yeah,
well, I mean, you could do that with cast iron. Sometimes I'll do
That's why I
that.
like-
Yeah. I'm like, I'll put cast iron in the oven.
yeah. That's how I like
yeah.
to make steak. I like to sear it with the
Yeah.
cast iron, just real quick.
That's how you do it.
I sear everything, like the edges,
Yep.
and then oven.
Oven. Yep.
That's the way
That's
I
how
do
I,
it.
yeah.
Most
That's how I
people
do
are
chicken
like,
and
what, you
steak.
don't grill it? And I'm like, 'cause especially bros. Bros are like, you gotta grill it, bro. And I have
Where
so
are
much.
you going to grill something in a New York apartment?
That's the thing. Yeah. And like I could have a hibachi out my window, I guess. But
if you, yeah.
yeah, or like a camping grill or something on my roof. I could like bring up a little propane camping grill.
Yeah.
but
it's just so,
yeah.
it's so much.
But like when I was in
for-
Vegas, everybody had a grill. And
Yeah.
I have so much respect for like a good grill cook.
for sure.
My friend and the cook at once a week, once every other week, I work as a bartender at like a little
Oh, cute.
bar. Plug for Danger. It's cute. It's in Bushwick.
Oh,
And
nice.
Aaron actually gave me the idea. He was like, why don't you try getting a vanilla job that's just like part-time?
Yeah.
And it'll like balance out. And I was like, maybe. And then he showed me a couple things about bartending. I've been sober the majority of my life. So like,
Right.
but he showed me like what I absolutely need to know. And then I YouTubed the rest and
Mhm.
made some flashcards, learned the drink. So in like 2 weeks, I was a bartender. And,
Hell yeah.
and I love it. It's like hosting a little party.
Yeah.
Our bar food is the best bar food I've ever had in my life. I mean, it's
Ooh.
so good. And Dan, the cook there, is the best grill cook I've ever met. Like at a barbecue,
yeah.
he's
Damn.
so good. He made we do a fried chicken sandwich at our bar that he's been working on for like probably 10 years. And
Oh, wow.
he's learned karaage cooking, like
yeah.
Korean
yeah.
fried chicken
Yeah.
and then Southern fried chicken.
Wow.
So he's mixed the two methods and then puts it in like Frank's Red is kind of like the basis of the hot sauce. And then of course other butter and stuff, who knows what else, but it's so delicious. And then he makes a chopped cheese. Have you had a chopped cheese?
I don't think so.
Oh, you got to get one while you're in New York. You can
Okay.
get them at any bodega.
Oh, okay.
Just walk in. They're not on the menu.
She's shaking her head.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay.
yeah, they're not on the menu. It's just a thing New Yorkers know.
Okay.
Everybody comes here and has a pizza, but chopped cheese is like what we eat.
Cheese.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's just a sandwich.
Okay.
It's just, but it's delicious. Yeah. Yeah. It's
Okay.
like, if you imagine,
Shit.
it's not taco seasoned beef, but a similar seasoning on ground beef
Okay.
that's cooked on whatever bread you want. I like it on a hero, like a roll.
Yeah.
And with cheese and whatever else you want. But I normally do it with like mayo and tomatoes and maybe some hot peppers. And it's just delicious.
Okay.
It's like a grilled cheese melt
Yeah.
with taco meat, kind of. But
Okay.
it's not really taco meat. They season it with like I don't know what they do. But
Okay.
at our bar, Dan does it with Wagyu. And like
Wow.
it's like it's seasoned so perfectly, and it's when you get it at a bodega, you're gonna make a mess. It's sloppy. It's like it's good. It's that kind of good. You
I
know?
love that.
But his is just like gourmet chopped cheese,
Okay.
and it's so good. And I don't know why I got on that kick, but
No worries. But
yeah,
I think
you gotta
we're
get a chopped cheese.
okay.
So.
I'll make sure. Where can the fans find you?
Oh, I made it easy. Booklucy.com.
Perfect.
Yeah. All my links, you want to hire me to be in your movie, cool. Or you want to meet me in person, cool. Or
Yeah.
you just want a video call, cool.
Yeah.
Or
Cool.
my videos, all that.
All that.
So just booklucy.com.
Booklucy.com.
Even my writing, you can get to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you want to read my poetry.
You guys know where to find me. I'm Lumi Ray, and thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, that
Yay.
was so quick. Yeah.